This week.
This week, developer Fast Travel Games permanently dropped the price of their puzzle game, The Curious Tale of the Stolen Pets, from $15 down to $10. As much as I enjoyed this one, it shouldn't really take you more than 2 hours to see and collect everything it has to offer, so $15 always felt a little too expensive for what you got, and $10 seems just about right. As a side note, I'd really like to see some other older PSVR games get permanent price drops too. I'm sure Raw Data, Paranormal Activity, and even the Brookhaven experiment would all see a spike in sales at a lower price point, especially if they're patched with PSVR 2 support. We had a lot of complaints about Gravitational at launch, and as stale as the puzzles and gameplay were, it was extra frustrating to see things like forced blinders and a big red warning sign that alerted you every time you turned away from the camera. So thankfully, version 1.01 addresses these annoyances. The game still isn't anything to write home about, but at least this proves that developers are listening to our complaints. We waited a solid year to get the Dollhouse DLC for Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion over here in PSVR land. I've only played the first hour, and so far, it plays a lot like Karamari Hospital, but with more items, puzzles, enemies, and interactions. Interestingly enough, the DLC cost $4 over on Steam, but came in the form of a free patch on PlayStation 4.
This game is incredible. Oh, wow.
If you're wondering where my baby hands review is, of course you are, why wouldn't you be? Well, you might just have to wait a few more days. Developer Chicken Waffle has been paying close attention to all the complaints and should be pushing out a patch addressing a few bugs and the sound levels early this week. Just a heads up though, even after playing it for close to 4 hours and inching ever closer to the Platinum Trophy, it still feels like a $10 game to me. So while yes, it's goofy and fun, if you're interested, you might still want to wait for a sale. This Thursday, December 2nd, UploadVR will be hosting their 5th VR Showcase. If it's anything like the last few, we can expect updates for current games, potential DLC announcements, and yes, even new game reveals. We got word that there will be a couple PSVR games shown, so we'll be co-streaming the event right here on Without Parole this Thursday, though the exact time of the showcase has yet to be announced. The world will never be the same as before due to an unknown virus that infected much of the human race. Zombies are everywhere, and you're in the minority. Fight off the zombie hordes all alone, or cover each other's back playing with your mates in this brand new VR apocalyptic adventure shooter. Survive in a ruthless, dreadful district full of dead walkers. Okay, so we're still waiting for the PSVR port of Hinge, Arcadia VR's first game, but their new game, Requisition, which focuses heavily on multiplayer and crafting, looks pretty awesome too. Don't expect to see this one for a while, as the PlayStation VR version isn't expected until late 2022, most likely making it a PSVR 2 game. Developer Joy Out Games has been teasing their upcoming open-world cyberpunk game Topside pretty heavily for the last few months. It's an open-world game with RPG elements set in a cyberpunk world, featuring a unique mix of driving, shooting, climbing, and according to them, a bizarre plot. Right now, their plan is to launch a Kickstarter in the coming months and release the game sometime in June of next year.
going to Mars. Just leave me alone.
Drop your weapon, or you're gonna die.
This week